Okay, thank you for joining me in this exercise in which I will be reading the paragraph just behind me. Embedded within the paragraph are the potential for errors related to grammar, punctuation, spelling, and so forth. Just keep that in mind as you listen to me read. Afterwards, I'm going to step out of frame, ask that you pause the video to make your corrections independently, resume so that you and I can correct them together. If I happen to miss something, which does happen, unfortunately, or perhaps the modifications I made, you have a preferred modification in lieu or in addition to those that I have shown you, by all means use the comment section below to let me know. All right, for now, we're gonna go ahead and get started and I'm going to read the paragraph. Excuse me. So, although I have little experience working with such complex equipment, Mr. Brady has allowed me to work as his apprentice. I met him on my long journey from Ohio to New York City. The train was crowded and he asked me if he could store his equipment in my overhead compartment. As I only had a few items, I obliged. When I inquired about his odd-looking boxes, I learned that he was Matthew Brady, the well-known photographer. All right, please pause the video here to make your corrections and resume when ready so that we can correct. Excuse me. All right, starting at the beginning, indentation, perfect. Let's go ahead and capitalize the first word in the sentence. Although I have little experience working with such complex equipment, comma, Mr. title, so it is capitalized. However, it's an abbreviation, so we're going to go ahead and add a period at the end of the R, has allowed me to work as his apprentice, period. We've concluded that thought. I met him on my long journey from Ohio, name of a state in our union, so I'm going to capitalize that, as well to New York City. All three parts are a proper noun, the name of a city. So we're going to capitalize Ohio, New York, and city. Period. We're also concluding that thought. Next sentence, here we have the definitive article the. Let's go ahead and capitalize it. The train was crowded, and he asked me if, the train was crowded, and he asked me if he could store his equipment in my overhead compartment, period. Good. As I had only a few items, I obliged. Here, you have the option of including a comma, right? Which I would like to do. This is more of a style choice. If you chose not to, that's okay as well. Obliged. When, new sentence, so let's go ahead and capitalize that. First word in the sentence. When I inquired about his odd looking, notice that this is paired together using an equal sign, which is incorrect. Instead, hopefully you remember, if we're going to show a relationship linking two words, we want to use a hyphen. So I'm going to go ahead and strike that equal sign and replace it with a hyphen, which would sit just below where that equal sign was originally. About his odd-looking boxes, comma, I learned that he was Matthew Brady, both of which are proper nouns, first name and surname, or last name we sometimes call it. Brady, comma, though well-known, we're using a colon. We don't want that. We're not producing an analogy. So we'll replace that colon with a hyphen, well-known photographer, period. And we'll go ahead and conclude it there. All right, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like. I would appreciate it. And if you'd like to continue to practice with me, by all means, please subscribe. All right, thank you for joining me.